Hey guys, David McElwain here with Shoshone Hunt Stories. This is where we give you the tips, the tactics, also lets you get an inside look of what it is like to go to these outfitters on these hunts before you actually go. All right guys, so we're here in Argentina. We've had a phenomenal week of hunting and we wanted to sit down and talk with everybody about it, give everybody the expectations of what this place has to offer before they actually get here. I think I can speak for everybody here, and I've kind of followed a bunch of people around filming this week, but I feel like it's been a pretty phenomenal week for everybody. The first afternoon, we got very, very close to killing one that day. So, Jay, what's your experience here?
Yeah, I think everybody will agree that it exceeded expectations. But also it's as advertised. But if not, it's actually a little bit better. I would say the accommodations are better than I was anticipating. The food is better than I was anticipating, and the hunting is better than I anticipated. There's a history of being 100% success on red stags, and now I see why. They report. And I don't know, we don't have any way to verify it, but apparently they have, what was the population they said here? Over 5,000? 5,000 stags on the 37,000 acres, over 1,000 males, and they harvest about 150 a year. So they really don't harvest that many. The thing that I didn't realize was that some of the other game was free range. Like this is like going to Africa almost, because there's 8, 9 species you can harvest. We've got here with us two of our clients that came with us, Mark Pickering and Josh Kirkland. And Josh is a straight killer and has harvested 10 animals, Josh?
I think it's 9.
9? Well, 9 right now, maybe 10 by the end.
It could be 10 by this afternoon.
That's
we'll see
right.
how this afternoon goes.
Run down the list for us.
So I've got the buffalo, the water buffalo.
Which was a 103 inch, 103 and 7/8, giant water buffalo.
I got the mouflon.
Okay, 2 of those.
Two mouflons. I got an axis deer, a fallow deer. What's the sheep?
You got a Texas doll.
A Texas doll sheep.
And the 4-horn.
And then a 4-horn sheep that kind of looks like a devil.
Yeah.
Black buck.
A black buck, which, in a couple of different areas, we've seen so many black buck, I just couldn't even believe it. I was like, they're running around.
They're everywhere. Yeah.
They're like kind of a little more localized. And then I killed my first red stag yesterday morning.
Yeah.
And then we went back hunting this morning and just killed a giant red stag this morning. I saw 19 red stag shooters this morning.
Unbelievable.
One of which just had his whole left main beam broke off. So I guess you'd really say 18. But then just kind of picked and shot. I actually shot number 12 and then saw 6 more after that. One, had a big palm on both of his crowns, I guess you would say. It's just a beautiful animal. But, and had I not shot one before I saw him, I would have shot him for sure.
Yeah. 379, 381.
381 and 3/4.
381 and 3/4. Unbelievable.
And this is free range.
It's free range, but it's
It's just pretty free range. That's what a lot of people
They do have some in-fence area, but no, both of my red stags were free range.
Yeah. So everything so you could hunt free range, the red stag, the mouflon, the black buck, the axis
deer.
The water buffalo are technically not free range, but they're in a 25 square kilometer area.
Right.
So it's a huge area.
So it's not free range, but at the same time,
it is challenging.
Well, it is. Even some of the other animals that are inside of a fence area, there's so many acres that are fenced in.
Yeah.
Until
it's still hunting.
You're still hunting.
It's hunting.
Yeah.
That was cool. And Mark, you have the distinction. Both of y'all got 2 red stags each. But you have the distinction of being the only person who was able to harvest one with a bow. Yeah. So tell us about that.
Well, it was an afternoon hunt over a water hole, and had 2 come in. One was a management, and one was just a younger one, and I decided to take the management.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful.
And then the next morning you got your trophy red stag.
I killed a 24 point.
24 point. Wow.
330.
So I think we had, I guess, the four of us, and Marshall's not here, but four of us and our four Arkansas buddies that we've made here. We made new friends here, which have been nice. Everybody got at least one stag. Y'all both got two, and they range from 330 to 407.
Yep.
All free range.
Yep.
That's crazy. I did think the bow hunting, David, you said, what was my thought that, Mark and I both tried to bow hunt, and I really wanted to get one with the Red Stag. And that first afternoon, you and I unfortunately, you picked the wrong horse to go with all week. You should have gone with Josh, and we'd have had a lot more stuff. That's right. But we got had good encounters and good footage. But Mark, my takeaway is that the bow hunting here is a lot harder.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Right now.
Now,
when they're the roar, I bet you it's going to be easier because they said it's a lot easier to hunt in the roar because, you stop, listen for a roar, pick out what you think is the biggest, and then you go to it. And you're able to slip up on the animal because he's constantly
talking the whole time.
He won't answer you. He won't come to you.
Yeah.
But he's constantly talking the whole time that you can slip up to him.
The problem we had this week is we have had a terrible wind. It's been north, south, east, and west, and
all in the same hunt.
And they get your wind, game over.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll be lucky to get him with a rifle.
Yeah. It seemed like we either needed, so that first afternoon, it was windier and it was wet, and we were able to make a good stalk, get within 40 yards, and I, drew too early. And then the second afternoon, drew too late. So anyway, we gave up on that and went with a rifle so we could get one. We had good encounters. But it seems like you either need that windy, wet to stalk, or you probably need it hot and dry and sit in the water hole.
Or you wait and go during the rut. I think if you go during the rut, you've got a lot better chance of success with the bow.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be my opinion.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing I would say is that, don't be impatient. I didn't see any shooter red stags for the first couple of days. We were on other species, for the most part. But then this morning and yesterday saw several, but then this morning just different kind of areas. And
bring your shooting sticks.
Yeah, bring your shooting sticks. Absolutely.
Your shooting sticks.
Whenever you do.
Bring your snake chaps. David is the snake master. We've seen
more. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You're gonna need your snake gaiters, and
sharpen up on your Spanish.
Because there's only one person who speaks English. So, but that's neat too.
Great people.
Oh, they're super good people.
Accommodating.
Oh, food's been phenomenal.
Food, all the beer that anybody would want.
That's right. Schneider, the Schneider beer.
A new beer.
Yeah.
Would you bring your own rifle next time, or would you?
That's a point. So I would definitely encourage people to bring their own rifle. Those are fine, but
fine, but
they're just different.
At you, and you're going to be walking literally 5 or 6 miles every morning, every evening, and
you want to be familiar with your rifle that you shoot.
Heavier gun than you probably have at home. And the trigger's not going to probably match your trigger.
The gun I had
have as good optics.
The gun I had was a little odd. Here are the safeties you pull back instead of push forward. Right. And I was shooting a 300 Win Mag, but you also had to cock it by pushing the trigger forward. Now, obviously, I figured out how to use it because I've had a very successful week. I can get it on with.
You need to take it home with you.
See if they'll sell it to me.
That's right, sell it to you.
See if I can add it into other packages.
That's right.
But
the Kirkland package.
But it is, I would.
Would you prefer to have your rifle?
I would prefer to have my rifle.
Me too, 100%.
I would too. The what was the other thing I was going to say? Is also I anticipated that we were going to do a lot more safari style hunting, riding around in the truck, get out. But there's a lot more calories. You will burn calories.
You will burn calories. You can eat all you want. You can drink all you want.
That's right.
Yeah, you better make sure you bring some good walking boots.
And probably need to get some spark and some drip drop.
Yeah, that's right. And what we've been, everybody's been doing pretty much 4 to 10 miles a day, probably walking.
Yeah, I done 13 one day.
Yeah. The it's been a little warm for us here this week, but I think that the climate, it's so, all of us are from the South, and so, even 80 degrees here, you sit in the shade like we are right now.
Yeah, it feels good in the shade.
Beautiful.
Another thing I would say is that that they do laundry for you every day.
Yeah.
And so you don't need to bring 7 changes of clothes.
Exactly.
If you brought 3, maybe 4, you've got plenty of clothes because they're going to do the laundry for you every day, which is phenomenal.
No, that is not.
It would lighten your load a lot. I mean, I brought enough luggage in case I got home for 2 weeks, and I even used a third of it.
Yeah.
You may want to put your initials on your fine.
That's right. Somebody might claim your pants.
Well, for the price it is too.
Oh my
I feel like this was
For value, I don't think there's a place in this world that will beat it.
No,
I really don't.
no. The only,
Quality with the price.
Yeah.
no, you can't. You cannot be.
Travel expensive to get here, but
But once you're here,
it's way exceeded expectations.
and it really is comparable to me to go into Africa. That's what I loved about Africa is that when you're there, the hunt is never over. And here, there's always something
got
else to
something to look
shoot.
forward to.
That's right. Always can go shoot something else. But and I would say the water buffalo. I love that water buffalo.
I enjoyed it. I mean, I spectated and I enjoyed it. I mean, it's like turkey hunting in South Georgia with your buddy.
That's right. And it was just as sporty. It was.
Remember a 2,000-pound water buffalo throws his head up and looks at you? It's kind of intimidating.
I mean, it was every bit as sporty as a king.
We had about 20 of them.
Yeah, 20 of them with Dennis.
Yeah, you just got to make sure you can outrun all the other guys with you.
That's right.
That's your good.
You're good. Well, they were all looking
Shoot
at
the
it.
375, trust me.
That's right. Shoot the 375. Yeah, that when after we shot that one this morning, and they were all looking at us, that was the first thing that went through my head is I ain't got enough bullets for all you.
I was backing you up with 7 mag.
Oh yeah, that's right. Just shoot them twice.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm going to be okay for 4 shots.
that's right. That's right. This is a great alternative to a mule deer hunt or an elk hunt. I thought this was going to be a lot more like elk hunting. I thought it was going to be a little more where you could call them to you. But it is true. It's for bow hunting or even rifle hunting. It's really like spot and stalk mule deer hunting,
Right.
but for something that looks like an elk. That was kind of my takeaway.
But they have a good nose.
They have a
Okay.
good nose,
If they smell you, you're not going to get him.
and they are they're a lot more wary than I thought they'd be. I mean, they pick you up and they are gone.
The black buck are even worse than that. I mean,
and the axes.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
The axes are like ghosts.
yeah.
The
So
big ones are really hard to get.
yeah, they are. I mean, it's challenging. It was. I guess I was the last one to get my stag.
You got a good one.
Yeah, I got to go on. Happy with him. It was beautiful, and the experience. I think my favorite hunt though was that afternoon that you and I had. We had first the three of us saw that giant one riding in, and then we jumped those three on the road. Dave and I sat at the water hole. They came by us, and of course didn't come into the water hole. And then we went up to the top field, and there were 2 giants and several other good ones. And Matt from Arkansas wound up. I wasn't ready to shoot the rifle yet. In hindsight, I should have shot the rifle. I should have shot a bigger one, but that's fine. And so Matt shot it, and then we almost had we had another one that started running toward us and got within 60 yards, and unfortunately he turned out and we didn't get the shot. But that's actually that hunt. We didn't harvest one that afternoon, but that was my favorite.
Awesome.
My favorite hunt.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was.
It's not all about the kill,
You're right.
but it's nice to take something.
It is nice to take something home, and that is.
You're going to take something home that you'll be proud of.
Yeah, and hunting with David and getting it all on video, that's kind of a new experience for me. And I mean that's as much of a trophy as anything, just getting that footage.
Yeah, honestly, and that's kind of what I enjoy the most. I mean, of course, I would love to shoot one too, but at the same time, though,
Get one this afternoon.
you get that, you get to take that piece home, and it's like,
Yeah.
you live that forever.
Yeah.
So
And it's the only thing you're ever going to remember, these memories you make.
Yep.
That's
Not
right.
about the money, the houses, the cars. You remember these hunts.
That's right. And it's funny how many
You're sitting around the fire
at 80 years
old, you're going to talk to your buddies about the time you went to Argentina.
which is funny that plays out. Shoshone's theme song is going to be "Where Rainbows Never Die" by Chris Stapleton, and that's what it talks about. I'm an old man now, can't do nothing, but in my day, I sure was something.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's
100%.
making memories.
yeah.
That's exactly right.
And I didn't anticipate we were going to make such good new friends too.
That's awesome. Everyone here.
Yeah,
I think they're wanting to go to Africa. So you better
Came
watch.
on.
I am. Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought that I'd be sitting in Argentina. Honestly, I never thought so.
Yeah.
I've filmed a lot,
And that was almost everyone I ever talked to. It almost pushed me away from Argentina. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they did. I mean, when I first started talking to Pickford about it, he was like, "We're looking to go to, New Zealand. Everybody says we need to go to New Zealand." And
I can promise you, I'd much rather come here.
Yeah, and I've never been to New Zealand, but the photos,
It's beautiful.
beautiful.
It's beautiful, but it's not free range.
That's
you don't
right.
kill this quality free range in New Zealand.
Yeah.
You don't. There are
Yeah.
high things.
Yeah.
And that's fine if somebody wants to do that.
That's right.
It's just not me.
It's just more expensive and
It's way more expensive.
yeah, and so many more options of other things to hunt here too.
Right.
So it's yeah, I'd encourage everybody to come do it. It's
wonderful.
and to be able to come hunt in March. You know, I've kind of gotten out of fishing,
That's right.
and so this is south of the equator hunting.
Right. That's
Oh,
awesome.
I love it. I'm in.
We get home, we get turkey hunt.
That's right. Turkey hunting.
Life's good.
Yeah, it is.
We get home, I get to go to work.
You got a shot at it.
Enough money. Turkey's going to had to be put on hold for a few weeks. Some money.
So one more afternoon.
Yep.
What's your hopes?
Well, I hope we can get you a stag, and I hope we can get Mark an axis, and I hope we can get me a mouflon.
Well, I'd rather get him
A stag, me too.
Man,
Me too.
he's worked hard.
He sure has. He sure
Well,
has.
instant ride with me if you ride with me.
You damn right, yeah. You probably
I'm going after a wild goat, but we can definitely put him on axis real quick. Go. You know what I mean? Maybe even run there and get a stag too. You know,
Yeah.
probably even get a black buck all in the same little
I know.
point.
Yeah, you kill about three things every time you go out.
We can make it happen.
I know.
You got to go to hustle.
Yeah.
Yesterday was so funny because we got out of the truck, we were going after the stag, and like 3 seconds later, we heard a shot, and we're like, "That's Josh.
Gotta be Josh.
That's Josh."
We had just left him.
Yeah.
Yeah. There he is.
And sure enough, right?
He has definitely got the lucky rabbit foot.
I've been hot this week, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna try to keep it rolling this evening.
Do it.
So, if you had to tell people like what to expect before they came here, like the living accommodations, everything, what would you tell them?
Well, one thing that people do need to know is that the places are not air conditioned, but the climate is so mild here. We've had super warm weather, highs in the 80s. They got ceiling fans. You open your windows, and it's been super comfortable. Now, David, you've been in the one room without a fan.
in the bunkhouse out back.
Yes.
Well, he's a videographer, and they're not receiving funds.
That's right. That's right.
So it's kind of like put him in the jail cell.
Yeah, and he put him in the jail
The
cell.
worst accommodations we have, here you go.
That's right. Here you go. Here you go.
Next time you'll learn to pay.
I like it that I think they had an empty room and they still put.
Oh yeah. Don't leave your room.
That's right. That's right. And the other thing I would tell people is that I'd seen the photos of the accommodations, but they are much nicer than I actually thought they were. They're very clean.
They clean your room for you
Every that's it. Yeah, twice a day.
After the day,
Right.
they clean it too. They make your bed and everything for you.
You're right. So I would say that the accommodations are much nicer than I thought, and I love the lunch. Yes, hot shower, very good.
The hunts, as far as dates.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So
Everybody wants to hunt the roar.
And it's good.
again, like we were talking, the roar. I think it's going to be really good for a bow hunt. If you want to kill one with a bow, I think that's when you're going to have to do it.
If you want to kill a big one,
larger stags,
First 2 weeks in March.
first 2 weeks in March, food source,
Yeah.
and spot and stalk, and a lot of mileage on the feet.
Yeah.
And you can find them.
100%.
And like you said, if you look back at the photos, and our guides told us this too, that they, frankly, the sizes get smaller as the season goes on.
Well, and naturally, because
The big ones are dead.
The big ones are
The
dead.
big ones are dead.
Yeah. Irene told me that before we came. I was a little worried. I knew we'd be early, and they did say that normally they would be roaring more, but it's just so hot. And that's what she said. You get the pick of the litter, so you come early. So,
I've been very happy with the pick of the litter we've got.
heck yeah.
When you post a picture of what's been taken this week,
It's
it'll
ridiculous.
sell itself.
Oh, my God.
100%.
You'll have a lot of people ringing the phone will ring off the hook.
Yeah.
Do we have any that are under 20 points?
No, I don't think there's one under 330.
330 to 407.
That's impressive
Stupid.
for a week.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the opportunities that were endless that we didn't take.
Better still here.
And there are some people who, passed on larger stags and ended up, for instance, Jay, yourself, you passed on larger stags several times with a bow versus you could have used a rifle.
I could have used a rifle. Yeah.
Right.
Well, the only one that was larger was Matt's. And it was mine to shoot. And I let him shoot it because I was still trying to get one with the
Do
bow.
we have a little killer remorse here?
Well, no.
He's happy.
I'm happy for mine. No, it was great because we got the best of both worlds. We got it on video, and then Karma almost paid me off and let me shoot that one with the bow. But it was great. It's and the other thing that's surprising to me is that it is hard to judge them in the woods. You don't get a lot of time. I thought you'd have more
No, if he don't look impressive in the scope,
That's right.
you probably not.
Just don't want
The one I killed this morning, I mean, looked very impressive in the scope, but he didn't look as impressive as he did when I got up there to him.
Really.
Well,
When I got up there to him,
but that's exactly my thing. Whenever you don't have to count points,
yep.
he's a shooter.
I didn't have that to do when I picked the scope up.
And shoot mass.
Marshall.
Will never be wrong.
Marshall Beckett.
You're thinking it's a siesta.
We're doing a podcast, Marshall. Marshall Beckett is just joining us.
We doing this live?
No, it's on right now. Well, it's not streamed.
Yes,
Since we go out and edit out any comments that we need to.
Sure. Week.
What do you think?
Pretty awesome. A lot of walking. If you do the work, then it'll definitely happen for you. That's what I would say.
I loved
He's there.
Yeah.
I loved your guide.
Yeah, he's interesting. He likes to say, shoot.
He also, I think I'd only talked to him about twice, and now every morning he gives me a hug.
Yeah, so he's
loving.
He was definitely loving the first couple days. The language barrier is pretty intense, so I would strongly recommend a Google app.
Oh, yeah. I translate.
Very helpful. It's definitely helpful. I didn't have that the first couple days, and the language barrier is pretty massive. But after that, everything's good.
Would you bring your old rifle, or would you just use theirs?
I would use theirs again, but I would probably test out a few on the range first and see what you like best instead of just grabbing one and going with it.
Yeah. Well, everybody, would you come back?
Yeah, I would take my son back here.
Absolutely.
That's what I hope to do one day is bring my boys back and just tag along with them, and
Do just like Katie's dad.
that's 100%.
I told him he's one dad of the week.
I agree with that 100%.
100%. That's what I'll do with mine.
And we're referring to another father and daughter. He brought his 19-year-old daughter, and he's been hunting with her, and she got her a stag and got her a black buck, and
And both trophies.
she's just a sweetheart. Really nice as can be, and
She's a freshman at Creighton.
yep, and just dad of the week by far. Bringing his daughter down there and spending that time with her. He's got 3 daughters, and just super good guys.
Same
Super good.
going out this afternoon and just
They're taking pictures this afternoon,
pictures.
checking things out.
The other thing I was a little worried about when we got here is that this is their busiest week. And so I guess there were actually 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hunters here. And I was a little worried about that, but it really has not been.
normally they have 6.
They normally have 6. We have 6 to 8 at most, but it really hadn't been an issue. Everybody's gotten
They
staggered.
accommodated for sure.
Yes.
They worked around it.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
made it happen.
Made it happen. And
They
it,
just worked their tail off for it.
yeah. And everybody's been successful. Everybody's had great hunts. And so that's
I
not,
haven't heard a bad vibe from anybody.
no. And that's I guess 37,000 acres you can
do that.
I would say probably the biggest thing on this first a deer hunt is just be willing and ready to walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to do a lot of walking. I bet we probably walk about 7 to 8 miles a day.
I know the one day I walked 13 or 14 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chula, he likes to walk. But if you're going to kill a lot of species, you better be willing
That's
to get
right.
dirt.
Well, that's good. You go home and look a couple pounds lighter than I'm happy about that.
I'm putting some groceries back trying to accommodate the mileage.
That's right.
I sent pictures to him yesterday, and my wife and son go, "Dad, you look skinny." When?
Did you edit the photography before you sent it to him?
Yeah. But overall, no, it's been great. I would do it again. Love to bring my son, and it's wild here, and you're going to see things you've never seen before, and just understand too, the civilization from here is a long way away.
It's a long way.
A long way away.
Get your global rescue, and the other thing, there's an option for the charter flight from directly to the property. There's an airstrip. Get that. It makes a long day when you take the charter flight from that airport, to Buenos Aires to Santa Rosa, and then they claimed it was an hour drive, and it was every bit of time.
He was an hour on a dirt road.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's every bit of too easy.
every bit of two. So just take that charter flight, and
And you mentioned the insurance a while ago that is that a Geo?
that global rescue.
Yeah, Jay has one.
And so it's very, very economical. I think that I paid for mine in Pickering's. He's my business partner. His was like $42, and I think mine was like $34 or something.
Yeah, I think that was
That's $1 million for a week.
I'm 57.
That's right. And when the one I'm talking about is the $600 a year policy that they come if you get hurt, they come and get you.
Yes, I don't know about that. I'm talking
Back
about
east to get you one.
Yep.
Well, it covers you for the year, anywhere in the world.
the one I'm referring to. Marshall turned us on to, and it's $1 million policy.
We get it for the week.
It's for the hunt date. You just put in the hunt date, and
How much was it? Like $40?
yeah, his was 42,
But Alex, you can't be older than them.
Yeah, get the insurance.
Yeah, mine was 30 something.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have that just in addition,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
because
Absolutely.
it's to accommodate a severe issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would say bring the right boots, bring the right gear, be ready to walk, be ready to work. But I mean, I think we've all shared that once you do the work,
Be
something good is going to happen.
100%.
Yeah, if you don't get one here, it's on you.
Yep.
100%.
Yep. So I guess we'll keep y'all updated of how this afternoon goes, but it's looking pretty good. Got a few more species to get, but until then, we will catch you guys on the next one. All right, guys. Well, there's your hunt story of the week. I want to say thank you for listening along, but if you want to hear more about these hunts, you can book a consultation online and talk to one of our guys. But we also have a weekly newsletter that comes out with the Shoshone featured hunts, but then also the cancellation hunts, if there is any, they will be on that newsletter. So once again, I want to say thank you for listening, and I will catch you on the next hunt story.